family. They are part of the Idalou FFA. And hey girls, thanks for joining us. And you guys have raised your steers since they were born. Victoria, you even saw yours being born. What's this experience been like?
It's amazing. Like, once I saw him out in the pasture, I was like, oh my gosh, I have a new steer for next year and everything.
So what is the process of raising these steers?
Once they're born, then you let them stay with mom for a little bit, and then you have to pull them into a pen and like start training them to do what you want them to do.
So you guys are basically like their second mom. How have you guys bonded with these animals?
It's like they start acting like us and just they start acting like dogs pretty much.
So what does Charlotte's steer act like if they start acting like you guys?
Oh gosh. Well, Charlotte is a little sarcastic sometimes and everything, and that steer is just like crazy with her.
And Charlotte, what's been your favorite part about raising your steer?
Just to get to tell everyone at shows that I raised him, like he's mine. He comes from my old heifers. Just, it's a cool experience.
And which one is yours?
The red and white one,
So what's his name?
Mufasa.
And what breed are these steers?
Mine is just an AOB. It's exotic and it doesn't have a certain breed.
Mine is half shorthorn, but he runs exotic.
Great. And why do you guys like to be a part of the FFA, and why do you guys compete in shows like the State Fair?
I compete in the shows so I can get scholarship opportunities and try to pay for my schooling.
That's awesome.
I compete to have fun right now because I'm just a freshman. So, but later on, when I'm a senior, I'll get scholarships.
That's a great opportunity. And what are you guys most excited about showing here at the State Fair? Pretty big platform.
I'm excited to just let my steer have that experience before we go to the major and have to get rid of them another time that we can be together.
And so what has been your favorite part about growing up around heifers and steers and just having this experience?
I don't know, I love it. Like, you bond with animals, it's like a child to you. You bond with them and you grow a connection.
I'm here with Byris. She is a junior in the Idalou FFA. And Byris, what does it take to wake this guy up and get him show ready?
Normally we kind of sometimes start out early on in the day. You got to get up early. You got to get them fed and watered, especially make sure they have a bunch of water since they've traveled a long way. So sometimes they'll be dehydrated. We'll get them fed, and then if you show on early on in the day, you'll just kind of let them sit down and relax, and then you'll go and wash them and blow dry them and make them all look nice and pretty. And then normally that's what it kind of takes. Most of the time they mostly like to lay down, so it doesn't take much until they have to get ready to show. Then you get to wash them and dry them off, and then whenever it's time to show, you just kind of keep them up, make sure they're all happy, fed, and everything, and are in a good mood. And
So what was the area that you guys just went to outside to get them before you fed them?
the tie-outs, we like to keep them outside, especially if it's humid and hot, so they don't get hot and just get anxious and in this tied-up space with a bunch of other cows. So we'll just keep them outside with the winds blowing to keep them nice and just keep them refreshed.
So what is the key when you're like bathing them and blow drying them? How do you want to make their hair look?
The point is to make sure you gotta get all their hair like all dried, because if any part of them is wet and they lay down, it's gonna stick to them and makes it harder to get out of it next time. You normally just blow dry, kind of simple, like how you would blow dry kind of like your hair. You want it to all look nice and go all like one way and everything. The main point is my favorite is the tail. You want to blow dry it this way, then blow dry it that way, make it all stick up straight and everything like that. So.
Oh my gosh, that's great. And then, so he's now in here. What's his name?
Captain.
Oh my gosh, that's my puppy's name. Well, my parents' puppy. Captain is chilling here. About how long before the show do you have to bathe him and get him up and energetic?
It normally depends on like how quickly the show is going. Sometimes we like to give us plenty of space, so that way if something does go wrong or something, we have plenty of time. So probably like an hour to an hour and a half, because he doesn't take very much to wash him and dry him, since he's not going to be a hair calf. And so we'll normally do an hour and a half just to get him all ready, and then he'll be good to go.
And what is something that you want to make sure to do to make your steer stand out from the rest of them?
Really showmanship in the ring. If you show your calf very good in the ring, he's going to definitely stand out. If the judge notices that you're a good shower and that you're working with that half, and it doesn't take much to get him into the side profile, then that really is going to stick out to the judge to make him really look good.
And What's your favorite experience so far here at the State Fair?
I just showing. I love showing so much. That just sitting in the barn with my family and friends and just working with my calves is just a great day for me.
I'm here with Dr. Skaggs. He is the superintendent of the Prospect and Market Steer Shows. And what are you guys looking for in these steer shows?
Well, first of all, we're looking forward to a great day at the State Fair. We have over 360 steers competing today. In terms of what the judging is looking for, it's kind of the complete animal. And by this I mean an animal that is structurally correct, is good in terms of their feet and legs, they move and travel with a lot of flex and cushion off both ends of their skeleton. Obviously, these are market animals, so the red meat yield, the product orientation plays a role as well. So they're looking for muscle expression down their top and from behind. And then finally, they look like they're an animal that performs well. And in this regard, they need to be deep-bodied, have some depth of rib and flank, and have that look that they're performance-oriented. So it's a complete package in a highly competitive event.
With many of these steers very similar, and to people like me who aren't very familiar with these kind of animals, how do you guys make different specifications as to who stands out more than others?
The judge always has an ideal in their mind, so they kind of have a preference for certain types of animals. Now, different judges prefer different things, so obviously you go to a judge one day and a judge another day, they may not be exactly the same. Oftentimes they're very similar, but in that regard, they may put more emphasis on muscle, they may put more emphasis on structure. So it's one of those things that's kind of the judge's preference, but it's always kind of a very competitive tight zone on which animal is slightly better than the other. And I think in the end, they go with the animal that in their mind is more complete.
We've been talking to some fellow Lubbockites today about their experience here. They're all in FFA. And what do you see with these young adults here doing this for fun, doing what they love?
Well, first of all, the Steer Project is a major investment of time. They're with this project for over a year. It's twice daily feeding, morning and evening. They take care of the animals, they wash the animals daily, they rinse them. So there's a lot of bond and kinship, if you will, between the animal and the exhibitor. So when they go out and compete, they have a chance to show off their responsibility, the things they've been working on, but they make great friendships from across the state of Texas. Not only West Texas, they meet other exhibitors from all 254 counties here at the State Fair of Texas. So it's a great experience for them to learn and meet others and just build a network of friends that will certainly stay with them throughout their lifetime.
I'm here with Kylie Martinez. She is part of the Friendship FFA. And Kylie, you just participated in the steer show. What was going through your mind?
Just what would the judge think of my cow and how does my cow look?
And so take me through how it works to show these steers. What goes on through the entire process of the ring?
So first you go in and you classify them, and then you line up to go into the ring. You go against the wall so they can look at the back and everything, and then you'll go to profile. And then he'll choose first place, second, and then they'll go weigh to see if they weigh in or weigh out, and then you're done.
That's awesome, and you got third. Great job. What different breed were you in?
Sant Gert.
And so what does it take to prepare for a show like the State Fair?
A lot of work. First we have to bathe them, blow them, and then we have to feed, get them their hair upright, make sure they are still ready to go and not bloated, and then, yeah.
And so what were you doing out there with the show stick?
I was setting them up so they can look better.
And so how does that work?
When you're this way against the wall, you have to set their two back feet to make their butt look bigger. And then when you're in profile, the foot closest to you has to be forward, and then the one has to be back, the left.
And what have you learned by being a part of the FFA?
I've learned a lot about cows. That all the different kinds of breeds, what they eat, and how much they eat.
And what is your favorite part about participating in these shows and bonding with these animals?
Just to be right next to them and to touch them and take care of them.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, congratulations, Kylie, and thank you so much. I'm here with Callie in the Moo You tent, and this is where Livestock 101 happens. You're the host of that. What is it?
Yeah, so over at Livestock 101, we just want to try and educate the general public about the different species of livestock that are around the grounds. So today we'll be talking about chicken, sheep, hogs, and steers.
So how do you hope to inform the different patrons here at the fair?
So basically, we just want to give them the general facts. We just want them to know where the meat comes from that they eat every day, where the dairy products come from, and how we care for our animals. We also want to educate them a little bit on, what the youth are doing when they come and exhibit their animals here, and just really the basic facts so they can understand more about agriculture.
And then you guys have an opportunity for the audience to ask questions after the show as well. How's that been?
It's been interesting. It just kind of depends on who asks questions as to what they say. We give them the facts, we tell them a little bit about it, and then they can ask us questions about, meat production or about the animal itself or about what we do. And like I said, it really depends on who's asking the question, but they're usually pretty good and everyone learns something from it.
So what's it been like for you as the host of this, just to see the audience learn and their reactions from Livestock 101?
As someone that's been in agriculture my whole life and really passionately cares about livestock, it's good to be able to educate the public, and just to see, especially when a kid is like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that, or even an adult, is
Right.
like, oh my gosh, the eggs come from that, it's pretty good for me to be able to be involved in that and to educate the public like I have always wanted to. So
That's awesome. And then today we have the Chicken and Poultry Show. What does that show look like?
So at 10:30 we'll be doing that, and we'll pull out one of these birds. It just kind of depends on which one we feel like talking about today, and we'll just come hold it up there, and my co-host Janine will show them how to tell what color eggs they will get from that specific chicken, what kind of chicken it is, the kind of climate they probably came from, and then the different types of poultry we'll get from it or byproducts. So yeah, and then they can ask questions and even come up and pet the chicken afterwards.
So what are the differences between brown and white eggs at the grocery store?
So there's no nutritional difference. The brown eggs cost more just because the chickens that produce those don't generally produce as many eggs as the chickens who produce the white eggs. So there's no nutritional difference. It just kind of depends on the type of chicken it came from. And you tell that actually from a little flap of skin under their ear. And we explain that in our show at 10:30. So yeah, there's no nutritional difference other than the type of egg it came, or the type of chicken that the egg came from.
I'm with Maddie. She is a sophomore in the Friendship FFA, and we're here with your steer. What's this one's name?
Hank.
Hank. And you're gonna show me how to properly get Hank's hair beautiful. So what do I need to do?
Okay, so first we start with their legs and we go up at an upward angle, and you try to get their hair to go forward, but that's what we mostly try to do. We just get it at an angle towards flow.
All right, let me give it a shot here. Yeah, this is a lot harder than it looks. Am I doing it right?
Yes.
What about his tail? What do you have to do for that?
Well, for the majors, when we go to the big shows, we tease it and make it into like a ball, and we stick like glue on it where it stays.
Hank is not having it right now. Can I set this down?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's it like? You have 4 steers here. How do you manage being at a show like this and having 4 steers to show?
Well, it's kind of like a team effort. We have like parents and all of our steer jocks that come and help us out, and so that's normally how we get it done.
So how many months in advance do you have to start preparing for a show like this?
Well, when they're 2 months old, we wing them from their mamas 9 times out of 10, and that's when we start halter breaking them and putting them on the show sticks and doing everything we can to get them ready for the show.
So take me through that process over the months.
Well, as soon as we wing them, we halter break them, and we just stick the halter on them and let them run around for a week or 2. And then after that, we start sticking the show stick on them and messing with their feet and scratching on them and trying to just get them ready for the show day.
What are the differences between your 4 steers right here?
Well, my 2 ones over there, they're my fat steers, where they're going to be showing here at the state fair for the major. And then this one behind you, Hank, he's supposed to go to Fort Worth because of his hair quality.
So tell me about his hair quality and what makes him stand out.
Well, for Fort Worth, it's a hair show, and so we work on their hair and get it fluffed in. But his hair has a better quality than my fatter steers, so that's what makes him go to Fort Worth.
So are they the same breed, or what makes his hair different?
No, Hank's a shorthorn, and that's just shorthorn has better hair 9 times out of 10.
And what's your favorite part about being around these animals? You said your parents also grew up showing steer. How does that transpire into your life?
Well, me and my brothers, we just absolutely love it. It's just what we like to do on our free time, and it's a family thing. That's what we did when we were younger, and that's what our parents did, so they kind of passed it on to us.
So what did you learn from your parents, or what did they tell you maybe before a show or just getting into this in general?
Well, they'd always tell us just have fun. It's limited time. We don't have a lot of time to do this. When we graduate, and that's the end of it. So we just enjoy it when we can.
Well, thanks so much, Maddie, and good luck today.
Thank you.
If you like more of Look Around Lubbock, you can catch it weekday mornings on Good Day Lubbock from 5 to 9. With your Look Around Lubbock spotlight, I'm Tierra Neubaum.